Hey Max Impactors, it's Tim Resnelli. I'm just out here in my garden. I wanted to do a quick garden update for you. And let me turn around the camera. And the reason why is we're in the transition from my spring season to summer. So I do 3 seasons with my garden. Well, I do a little bit of a winter, but I do a spring, a summer, and a fall garden. So here's what I got so far. You can see my garden looks great. Spent a lot of extra time in my garden this year, being locked down here at home. So I'm just going to show you around a little bit. Back here, oh, here's our fig tree. Well, this one's my son's. We're going to show you on the other side is ours. And we still have some kale. This kale is starting to get beaten up by insects though, so we'll probably be tearing this out. This is part of my spring garden. And then we got our peppers. These are banana peppers and the bell peppers. We got some tomatoes. These are a German Howard variety. Just started doing some zucchini. I was a little late on getting my zucchini started, so we got a plant there and a real small one over there. Potato. This just started growing by accident, so I just let it grow. It's probably not going to give me a whole lot of potatoes, but it was just fun to do. This year, we always for Earth Day, I try to grow a bunch of tomato plants for everybody at my karate school. Unfortunately, with the lockdown this year, I had all these plants in my greenhouse. I had over 75 plants grown, and basically we did a little drive-through, and I gave away maybe 30 of them, so that gave us a lot of tomato plants. So I did a lot of determinant. These are Independence Day, and there's some Best Boy, and we're already producing some from these. I got my first few this week. Here's curly kale. I like doing a combination of this curly kale and the Russian kale that's in the other bed. And the reason why is because the Russian kale tends to get beaten up quicker by the insects. So I like both. My wife prefers the curly. I like both. So I just eat the Russian at the beginning of the season and then go into the curly towards the end. We also have a rabbit, 3 rabbits that we feed the kale to. Now we have tomato plants here. These here are an Italian heirloom that a friend of ours gave. Actually, my son-in-law, his family grows these, and were kind enough to give us some seeds straight from Italy. Straight from Italy. They brought them over, and they've been passing them down for I think 2 or 3 generations. Here's my zucchini. Oh no, not zucchini. This is my cucumbers. I have 2 types, pickling, and I also have the regular English. I think I did English cucumbers this year. We'll find out once it gets there. Sometimes I plant stuff and then you find out later. Some more tomato plants in the back. See, I did a lot of the determinate tomatoes in my fabric pots. These are all the tomatoes that I couldn't give away. So we have a lot of them. Here is our bed. In the middle here was radishes, but they're gone. We have Swiss chard, which looks great. We just started using that. Did a great recipe. Asparagus with the Swiss chard mixed in and cooked with a little bit of garlic and shallot. Whew, that was great. Here we have some parsnips. Parsnips are there. We got our carrots. Carrots are starting to get almost to full size. Now, these are the carrots I planted in the spring. We're going to start picking them. And then later on, I'm going to show you what my strategy is here. And we're going to have some more in the fall. Here's these are just regular English peas. So when the pod gets big, you can pop the pod. They're really sweet. They're delicious. As you can see, they're starting to die off a little bit. This bed was my lettuce bed. So this is what I'm talking about with the transition from spring to summer is I had lettuce in this whole front of the bed. And now we took out all the lettuce because that started bolting. And now we have these are Hutterite soup beans, one of my favorite beans for soup. Very much like a navy bean, but a little bit creamier and they're a little smaller. These are some yellow pear tomatoes. Got some more back there. My wife's really excited about this. For years, we were having trouble getting asparagus. But this year, the whole bed is full We used to only have a little bit here and a little bit over there, but now we got it in the whole bed. We can't wait till next year. Now over here, we have this is my garlic. Okay, as you can see, they're starting to die back. I took the, what do they call them, the scabes off the top, and they're great for soup and things like that. But we're gonna be picking them soon. Here's our shallots. Look, you really see how they're starting to get a bunch of the little bulbs there. Right next in line here, we got some basil in the back. I forget what type my wife said that was. It has a purple color to it, and I can't remember the name of it. And soon, these heads of lettuce, these are not the round kind. These are kind of like the oval type. They're early Jersey. And I like these because we usually start getting them right before all the insects beat them up. So this head's almost there. It needs a little bit more. It's not quite as firm as I like it. But we'll probably in the next week or so, all these cabbage plants will be done. And then over here is Brussels sprouts. First year doing Brussels sprouts. Well, I tried, but I've been unsuccessful. But I planted these really early, and they're going to sit here for the whole season. Here's our figs. Look, you can already see we're getting some figs in there. And this is some of our herbs. Really nice. Now here's the thing about going into the summer. So I got some of my summer garden planted. So you see how I took out the lettuce and I put that. Soon this bed will be open. Boom, all this right here. And then we're going to go into our fall garden. Now, let me tell you what was in our spring garden. Okay, so the spring garden, we did a lot of broccoli rabe, the lettuce. Okay, we still have the carrots in there from the spring. Oh, I forgot to show you how big my turnips are too. They're really big over there too. And the kale. And we also had the Amish corn salad, which is really early. And then we had spinach and arugula. And all those are out of the garden now. So we're going to start putting stuff in. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to replace these with something for probably in the fall. And then this garden's all going to be gone, and we're going to put some more carrots in and some other lettuce and some other stuff for the fall. So that's kind of how we go about it. Some additions here. So here's our walnut tree. Our walnut tree, this is its 4th year, and it's just full of walnuts. We're going to have tons of walnuts. This is going to be probably the best year for walnuts. Over there you can see we have our blueberry bushes. We just added 2 to the end. They're all covered so the birds can't get them, but we just started getting them. They're coming up a little late. Usually we'd start seeing them more in mid to early June, I think. And we just got our first bowl of those. Raspberries, that's our new trellis. We just made a trellis for the raspberries, and we moved them over. Oh, we got somebody coming by, but we'll let oh, all right. It's the turf tractor. So over there you can see our raspberries. We just transplanted them, so they're not doing as great as you'd like, but we made this trellis for them, so that's going to really help them. Here's one of our pear trees. Let me show you the apple trees. We think we're going to have a really good year with apples, because we're only this far into the season, have a couple months left, and look, you can just see the apples all over. And we got another tree there. One last thing, let's walk you over here a little bit. Oh, I'm going to here's another one of our coronavirus projects. We took the fire pit. You'll see me making that fire pit in another video, and we just put a stone garden around it. We were having a little bit of water problems right there, so we figured a stone garden would solve that. And let me bring you over here. Okay, we have a pear tree over there. We got a pear tree over there. Sometimes I use like the back here. I did some scarlet runner beans back here, so they're going to be interesting. I just want to show you my strawberry beds. Okay, so these are my strawberry beds right there, and right now we're waiting for the runners to fill the whole thing up. Next year we had a lot of strawberries, but we're going to get a lot more next year. Here's another one of our trees, and you can see back in the corner, that's our bed that we usually use for sweet potatoes. Now we do have sweet potatoes in there, but we also in the back part, so they wouldn't shade out the sweet potatoes, we put some of the extra tomatoes. Now these tomatoes aren't going to stay there the whole year because they are determinate style tomatoes, so we're going to rip them out when it's time. So we got another apple tree. We have a few different types of apple trees too. And let me go over here, show you some more stuff we got going on. I don't think I've ever shown you guys this. Here's my greenhouse. That's just gonna stay there just like that for the summer. But this is right here is an almond tree. Now we haven't had any almonds yet. This is its third year now. The first 2 years it had a rough time the first 2 years, but it's looking a lot better. We thought it wasn't going to survive, but it did. We got this one, which is our chestnut tree. That's it. Okay, so chestnuts. This one was over here a little further. It was kind of like over here, and it got shaded too much. It should already be producing chestnuts, but because it was shaded, I think it's a little delayed, but this should do really good now. Over here, another thing I probably have never shown you guys. Okay, this is our kiwi tree. Now these are, I think they are called naked kiwis. So you can see them, they're really, right now they're still small. These will create a kiwi that's with a hair, they're hairless, I believe. And it will create a kiwi that doesn't have hair. And they're a lot smaller, so you kind of just pop them in your mouth and eat them. Let's see, anything else I wanted to show you guys? Oh, I forgot the bean tower. So my mom didn't need this bean tower anymore, so I actually have my trail of tear beans growing up it. So we're really looking forward to seeing how well that works. Hopefully we'll be getting lots of beans from that. So that's pretty much my garden for now, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. It's really looking great. We're eating vegetables out of our garden pretty much every day. And, you know, every year I get more and more ideas on how to improve. So even if you're out there and you're gardening and you don't feel like you're real good at it right now, don't worry. You'll get better. Just every year, learn more. Okay, we're going to be doing some experiments this year because I always have trouble getting fall vegetables. So what I'm going to do is this year I'm going to experiment by taking lettuce, and at the beginning of August I'm going to do one row. 2 weeks in August, another row. Beginning of September, another row. And I'm going to do a few different rows, and I'm going to see which row does the best. Do I do it too early at the beginning of August and it bolts before I can get it? Or am I doing it too late where it doesn't make it before the winter arrives? So that's the kind of things I'm trying to figure out for the fall, because I want to have 3 seasons. We had a great first season, spring. We're having a great summer, and then we want to also have a great fall. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's all I wanted to show you today. And leave a comment, tell me what you think, and also what you're doing with your garden, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye now.